comes days after a federal judge rejected their claims. There are fears of voting problems in several states right now. Joining us from the NBC News Bureau in Washington, D.C. is Jonah Goldman with Election Protection. That's a coalition of voting rights groups which is sponsoring the toll-free hotline we put up, 1-866-OUR-VOTE. So, Jonah, the big concerns here, voter fraud, challenging people's registrations. What are we looking at going into Election Day?
Well, thanks for having me, Contessa. What we're looking at going into Election Day is really a historic movement of voters that I think everybody should be proud of. There are potentials, unfortunately, for some things to go wrong, but I think that it's really incredibly important for Americans to understand the difference between voter registration fraud and voter fraud. Voter registration fraud is unfortunately something that happens. It's rare, but it does happen where problematic voter registrations are submitted to registrar's office. Voter fraud is when people show up and try to impersonate eligible voters. That does not happen in any measurable amount.
Jonah, can we talk about a specific here? Because in West Virginia, we were talking today about these voters who went in and they said they chose Barack Obama on a touch screen, and then they look at the receipt and all of a sudden it says that they have voted for John McCain.
Right. Unfortunately, we've seen that in West Virginia, and folks have been calling into the 866-OUR-VOTE hotline with that complaint. Usually, and 9 times out of 10, that's a problem of machine calibration. Really what that means is that the screen, when you touch a screen, like if you touched a touch screen at an ATM and sometimes the wrong number gets pressed, when you press a 2, it does a 5 instead because of the calibration of the ATM machine.
But in effect, doesn't that mean these people are disenfranchised?
Well, it's important for all of the voters to know to first check that receipt, and if the receipt doesn't go along with what the screen says and what your intention is, to call over a poll worker to fix it before you cast that ballot. And you have that ability to do that in West Virginia and elsewhere.
Right.
So it's really important for voters to know to do that.
Jonah, thanks so much for your time today. Again, the number to call, 1-866-OUR-VOTE. Much more news on MSNBC.